Nice to meet you all. Thank you for having me. I am an assistant professor at the University of Colorado in Denver, and my research focuses on historical trauma in marginalized communities. The topic that I am going to speak about is a paper that I published recently called Ancestral Bonding, and it's a term that I came up with on my own through an autoethnography, which was my own story of meeting my great-grandmother, who I am the only granddaughter who is named after her in our family of Holocaust survivors. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about what that means, and I'll be happy to field questions. So if you can see, this is a photo of me at my great-grandmother Chaya Adler's grave in Lublin province in Poland. My ancestry is from different parts of Poland and Czechoslovakia. So I went, for years, I knew that my great-grandmother had died, was perished in the Sciinov ghetto uprising, but I didn't really know much about her. And I always felt this need to connect with her. And so I traveled to Poland and went to see for myself what it was like to be in her grave in Poland. And I came up with this term called ancestral bonding, which means, by definition, the third generation, or really the fourth generation, of adults yearning. It's just a deeper yearning for connection with ancestry, but not just with the genocide and the trauma of what was, but also what were they like in their past? What were they like? You know, what did they contribute to my life? And if they would have been alive, what would their futures have looked like? So I thought a lot about that, and I wrote about what it would be like to bond with our ancestors, which is very applicable to all types of marginalization, not just Jewish Holocaust marginalization. So this has to do with my research on historical trauma response, how people respond to historical trauma. By definition, historical trauma is collective trauma. It has to do with genocide of groups. So some examples that we could look at are slavery in the Black community, Hiroshima, the Holocaust, all kinds of things. And a couple of things that we know is that third and fourth generations, our youngest generations, have different experiences in historical trauma than the first and second generations. The difference is that the symptoms have diminished, and they want to connect more with their ancestors. And some of the things that we could do is to help them connect to their stories, which is where ancestral bonding comes in. I have published a couple of articles about how we could connect through sacred stories. And one type of a story is through really having a relationship with our ancestors, whether they're deceased or not. So evocative autoethnography, and this is how I connect this to gender and sexuality, is evoking, like eliciting the response of the reader. Anyone who reads about somebody's experience, a very deep experience, really wants to join in as well. And evoking strong responses in different populations and the readers is very feminist oriented, because it evokes all kinds of experiences with gender, formation of personality, social justice, all kinds of things. When I write in autoethnography, to quote Bachner, I engage in text that makes hearts happy. And people read the words and they think, oh, this reminds me of my story. It makes me feel like I'm coming alive. And so that is the beauty of using autoethnography, an approach that really helps people connect to the story of the author. And so some of the things that I want to say, how my story, my connection to my great-grandmother Chaya is connected to gender-based experience is that I related to her as a woman. I had always felt like before I met her, at least went to visit the mass grave where she was buried in Libyan province, I didn't really connect with her as a woman or a female matriarch. I just had a hard time connecting with my matriarchal lineage because there was a big gap. And so relating and connecting to the loved ones in gender-based experiences and ways can help us with this. We can also carry on legacies and rituals of heritage through a personification of gender. And also with what Koan speaks to, what could have been. I wondered, who was my great-grandmother? Had she lived, who would she have been? What I learned about her was that during the war, she took in refugees, and she even went to jail one night because she was trying to support her family by selling baked goods illegally at the time of the Sciinov ghetto uprising. And so it connects me to who she was as a woman and what her feminine energies were like. And that is very dear to me because it's a missing piece of myself as her great-grandmother. When I published the paper, I couldn't help but think how wonderful it was that we have the same name. My name is not written in the Polish spelling with the J because I was raised in the USA. I was not raised in Poland, but we share the same name, and it's a very powerful gender experience. I felt like, and it struck me that it's something that I wanted to share with you all here because when we connect to the anima and the animus, what we call in psychology, the feminine and the male and female energies, they can be very overpowering, provide really strong gender-based experiences. And which leads me to historical trauma-based model that I used in my study called the Black Perspective, which promotes social justice by understanding how we weave in historical trauma-related models when we teach in counseling. I am a counselor educator and teach counselors training. And some of the ways that I teach them about ancestral bonding is through recognizing the strengths of their ancestors. The Black Perspective was utilized in Howard University's School of Social Work, which is a historical Black college. And some of the things that it teaches us, which is very much gender related and gender affirming, is these 6 principles, which are affirmation, strengths, diversity, vilification, social justice, and interpretation. And we take the strengths and the affirmations and the diversity of our ancestors and carry them on to the next generation, which about the bond of our existence. And so I share this with you because I recognize how important and really crucial it is to all parts of our ancestry. So the strength of their gender-based experience, and maybe we're also the ones that they could have the freedom to express our gender-based experiences and to be liberated in that sense. So some of the future directions that I want to take from ancestral bonding on is piloting use of the Black perspective and other historical trauma-informed models and engaging in similar studies with other marginalized communities. Creation of tools that are specific to the historical trauma response and ancestral bonding of other populations. Using more mixed methodologies because in studies of historical trauma, we have a very big gap between schools. the lived experiences are so rich that it's hard to really understand the numbers. So mixed methodology will help us combine the two in a really beautiful way. One of the things that I want to carry on, Dr. Input, if you have any, is to speak more about gender-specific experiences related to trauma, transformation trauma. For example, I published a paper on how to transform female sexual violations that Auschwitz into sacred stories by being a voice for generations in that realm. And I hope to do that more with Ancestral. I'm curious as to what other people's experiences are, as how we hold the energies of our ancestors within us, the feminine, the masculine, the non-binary, all kinds of gender-related energies, and how we carry them inside us and externalize them with other people into this field of life. And so I'm going to stop my share here, and I'm more than